Before we get started, does anyone want to get out? Consider this mercy. I am inevitable.
What's up, and welcome to the Comic Blast Podcast. My name is Keenan, one of the hosts of the Comic Blast Podcast, and joining me through the power of the internet is Grayson. How's it going, bro?
Hello there.
What was that?
That was my terrible Obi-Wan impression.
That didn't even sound like. You know what that sounded like? Have you seen The Conjuring 2?
Maybe.
There's
I don't know.
The Conjuring 2 has like a British ghost or demon, I guess you could say, and he has like a really scratchy British accent, and it's really terrifying, and that's what I got from that. So
I did say it like, "Hello there." Like,
it was a good effort. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. You and I have both been playing Battlefront 2 a lot lately, and there was something last night that happened in the game. Like, I was playing with one of my buddies, and we were playing on Felucia and Capital Supremacy, and Obi-Wan's running around, and it like was lagging in my game, and he like fell through the floor and then jumped straight through like the ground, and then as soon as he landed, he just goes, "Hello there."
Oh,
and then
my
that was
God,
it.
dude, that's perfect.
And it was so funny. Like, I'm just like, there's so many dumb moments like that. Yes, last night I was having so much fun with that game though, because like they have this in Galactic Assault they had like Hero Mayhem or whatever it's called,
over the weekend.
and it was like so essentially it was only 1,000 battle points to get a hero, and all heroes could be active at the same time. Normally it caps out in Galactic Assault at 4 at a time. They will not let you do 4 at a time. This time they were like, nope, let's go all out. And I was playing with Cole, and last night we got enough points, and we would spawn as a hero, we would die, spawn as another hero, die, spawn as another hero. So there was one time like I spawned as Leia, I died, I immediately spawned as Han, I died, I immediately spawned as Chewbacca, died again, spawned as Han again, and then I died, and then I spawned as Luke, and it was like it was just so great. Like, it was so chaotic, but it was so much fun.
I agree. I was doing that over the weekend too, and it's like every chance I would get out into the middle of the map, you'd just see five or six lightsaber battles going off
Kylo
right
Ren
in the middle.
And Luke and Rey
and I'm like,
Dooku
it's chaos.
and
You're like,
Grievous.
what is happening right now?
It's so much. Like, there's just so many.
But it's
people.
a lot of fun.
It's great. Like, I was telling Cole, I was like, this is literally like a realistic version of me playing with my action figures as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Just just having
body
all
slamming
of this
together.
This just gigantic sandbox. Like, and literally, like, it's like when the sides collide, like, it is just a mess. Like, people are getting force pushed and pulled.
Oh, for sure.
And like people are dying everywhere. It's great. I'm glad we're in the season of Star Wars now. I had a Mandalorian dream last night, and it was cool, but it wasn't like, it was a little underwhelming, to be honest. I was just like, oh, that wasn't as good as I was hoping it'd be, but I know Mandalorian will exceed all expectations. So yeah.
Less than a
Before
month
we get into
away.
the episode though, you tell us what you got for us.
Yeah.
Just our usual precursor things.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at comicblast_, so you can keep up with all of what's going on with us. We're releasing videos pretty much weekly now, so that's the best way to kind of keep up with it, other than being subscribed to our YouTube channel, which you could also do. I'm really
happy that we're doing YouTube stuff.
For sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So just go to our search Comic Blast in your YouTube browser, and you'll be able to find us. We should be like the top channel right there. And also, we just want to quickly thank our patrons for this month. Joseph, who is a patron, he is in our bounty hunter status or tier on there. So we just wanted to say thank you to him. And of course, the sponsor of the episode, Jess. Definitely have to give her a shout out. A link to her social media will be in the description of wherever you're listening to, if you want to check out any of our patrons. So yeah, definitely appreciate those guys. And they kind of help us stay motivated to keep the show going and everything like that.
Yeah, ever since we started the Patreon, and the people who donate, like, we feel so much more obligated and motivated to pump out like higher quality content. So every little bit goes a long way. And, you know, as I said last week, if we do reach $100 a month, I will shave my head. So there's some more motivation for you. I don't know what people would gain from me shaving my head other than just the pure, like,
they get to see the joy on my face.
Yeah.
As it happens.
That sounds so, like, psychopathic.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So many people, like, I was walking into class the other day, and, like, people have been seeing, like, my friends and my classmates that I've been like, dude, you're gonna shave your head when you do the $100 thing, and, like, I was like, yep. And one day I walked into class and I had a hat on, and the way the lighting was at the door, my friend literally thought I had already done it, and he was like, oh my God, you did it. And I was like, what? Like, no, I didn't. And he was like, oh, it was like just the way the lighting was.
Yeah.
Because so yeah, we haven't gained any new patrons, but obviously there are tons of spots to fill up. So if you want to help support us out, please head over to our Patreon, and it can be as little as $1 a month, and it'll help us out a lot and helps keep us motivated, obligated, and just help support us in general.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
For sure. $1 a month can get you like early access to videos and help us decide what's going to be on the show every week. And there's a lot of cool stuff that's going on over there. So yeah, I like Patreon because it really gives us an opportunity to just talk to people that do listen to the podcast. On my social media, it's just like there's a mix of people who do listen to the podcast and people who don't, and, you know, just people I know personally. But on Patreon, it's just kind of like our own little community, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. I was saying, like, in a thing today, like, for school, that I'm like, it kind of creates a bridge between it helps keep us more engaged with the community. So, like, if you want, like, a really direct way, like, Patreon is definitely the place to go, because it's like, it's a very niche community there.
Yeah.
But, like, that's where, you know, like, people, like, not to say that, like, money means that you care, but I'm saying, like, you know, I hope that's clear. Like, just because you don't give money does not mean that, like, we don't care about either way. Like, it's whatever little bit helps or nothing at all. We still are glad to have people who support us. So yeah.
Agreed. All right. So, like you mentioned earlier in the episode, we are officially in Star Wars season. It's pretty exciting. We're recording this on a Monday. Tonight, the final trailer, you can quote unquote, it's not really a final trailer. I mean, it's a final trailer, but there's going to be numerous clips that surface over the next couple weeks. Leading up to the release of the movie. But the final trailer for The Rise of Skywalker is going to drop tonight, probably after we get a few hours after we get done recording the episode. So we're not going to really be discussing the trailer in this podcast. However, we're going to have a video that's going to come out later Tuesday where we give our discussion, analysis, and everything like that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We did see a couple clips of, like, the pre-trailer or whatever online.
Yeah, like the teaser for the trailer. Like, hey, make sure you check it out tonight.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. You pointed out pretty early on in that little quick teaser. It's like a 15-second teaser that it looks like you could see Ghost, which is a ship from Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, over to the right of the Millennium Falcon in that clip. Yeah. I think, and I'm sure you probably agree, that's not actually Hera in that ship.
I mean, if Hera, if Leia and all of them are alive, like, if those older people are still alive, like, it's most likely Hera. Like, I don't know who it would be. Yeah, like, it could be her son, but, like, Hera is a general, and, like, she's been with it for a long time. Like, I consider her, like, the other Princess Leia, essentially, because she's, like, so, like, at the head and the front of the rebellion and everything like that. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's the Ghost. It could be another VCX 100. I believe that's the model of the ship that they mention. Shout out to my dad for remembering that. I remember it was a VCX something, but I couldn't remember exactly. But they mention it in Solo when Han's trying to gamble for the Falcon. He says that he has a VCX 100. Yeah. So if it's not Hera, it's at least her son Jason, because spoilers for Rebel Season 4, she has a son with Kanan, and his name is Jason Syndulla. But I don't think it really matters. I think it's just like a cool thing, but I'm sure at some point down the line they will address like what's going on, because we know Dave Filoni like has a story like with those characters in mind. But
sure,
I mean, there are a ton of ships. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw in the background a couple of Clone Wars era ships. There was one that looked very, very familiar. It almost looked like one of the ships from Umbara, or it also looked like Cad Bane's ship, which is called the Xanadu Blood. God, why do I know all this stuff?
It does look like it's definitely the most amount of ships in any space battle from any Star Wars movie. It appears.
If we thought Rogue One was a lot, or Return of the Jedi was a lot, like, oh my God,
this is insane.
There's at least like 1,000 in this one frame.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
it's
that's
ridiculous.
That's not even like, you're not even over exaggerating. It's almost like they're really setting this. It's probably, I'm assuming, is going to be like the third act of the film.
Yeah, second or third act for sure.
And it's like they're really going at all out for this. It seems like they're treating it like their end game.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's like, oh yeah, that is true. That's a good example. It's very much like a in-game scenario. I have to imagine they're up against like, well, it could be with those like Imperial Star Destroyers, like those fleets or whatever. It's hard to say because we really don't know the plot, and we never really do with the Star Wars movies before we go in, which is good. But it's hard to say. Also, I want to give credit out to like the shot of the opening shot of like that ice cavern thing
that
or
was
whatever
so
it is.
cool.
I'm like, that's a sick shot. I don't know where that's at, but it looks dope. Was there TIE fighters flying at it? Like, I don't remember. There was some ships flying, but I actually didn't pay attention.
Yeah, everything happens really fast.
Again. It's very quick, yeah. And then they showed the final shot of like all of them in the Falcon cockpit, which is just cool to see the whole sequel trilogy crew together.
Those are the only characters I really care to follow, and it's cool that they're all together. I've said it before, but yeah, that core group of characters is what I've wanted to just kind of keep up with, and throughout the sequel trilogy, they've mostly been split apart.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be cool to see them all kind of go on this adventure together, and I'm sure like at some point in time, Rey's gonna have to split and follow her own journey during the film. But yeah, I'm pumped to see that core group of characters all be together on their little adventure.
I hope at one point all three of those characters are together, as well as Kylo. I would like to see all, but like, well, I say that, but then again, that's never really happened in the previous trilogies.
Yeah,
where like the main villain has been with the core group of characters. Like,
right.
Vader has never been in the same well, it's always been some kind of split. Like, but that's just how it is. Like, even with the prequels and the original trilogy, but yeah, like the characters that I'm just so excited for are Poe, Finn, Rey, and then Kylo, because Kylo is like my favorite sequel trilogy character. So I don't know, it's so exciting, man. Like, I can't believe it's 2 months away.
God, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, and it'll go by quick. I mean, I was looking at the calendar today. I have 5 weeks left of school. Like, that's all I have left.
Yeah,
and I'm done for this semester, which is just insane. Like, I have 4 weeks, then I have Thanksgiving break, and then I have 1 more week, and I'm done for this semester.
Yeah,
which
that's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also probably like, oh, well, I have a lot more stuff to do this semester, so this is going to suck.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
I think what's going to really help us pass that time even faster is the fact that The Mandalorian's coming out in, I don't know, roughly 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah, so The Mandalorian's going to come out. We should mention that the first episode, of course, is going to drop on the 12th, and then the second episode of the season will come out on the 15th, and then from there, they're going to be weekly, so you'll have it the 22nd, the 29th, so just weekly releases. I do like that they're not going to wait a week in between episode 1 and 2, though, because we're going to be pretty hungry for that second episode as soon as the first one drops.
Yeah, that's a cool little thing. Like, oh, here's 3-day wait, and then like a regular weekly. Also, just because like I'm people are mad that they're not doing a Netflix style episode dump. They're like, why are they doing this? And I'm like, a lot of a lot of places don't do just these episode dumps. That's become kind of a Netflix thing. It also like it makes it last longer, but also Jedi Fallen Order comes out the same week, and I'm like, if there was The Mandalorian the entire
That'd
thing,
be overwhelming.
I'm like I would want to binge watch it and also play Jedi Fallen Order at the same time. So, and also like binge watching, like people can only go at their own pace. So like like some people don't get to, they can't just watch all of them in one day. Like
puts a lot of pressure on you.
Especially because you want to avoid the spoilers. Like you want to be able to catch up in the know, and it's like you can't sit down and just enjoy it with this whole like 7-week long thing. Like I can pace myself. I can watch it the day it comes out, but not have to be pressured to, all right, I got to watch the next like 4 episodes or whatever, like really quickly.
We talked, you and I actually predicted that it was going to be like this months ago, I'm pretty sure. Because we talked about how the price is so low that they're going to need people to stay subscribed. With Netflix, their prices are a lot higher, so people can cancel at any time, But they do the episode dumps. So, people who are just there for Stranger Things can sign up, watch their Stranger Things, and then wait until the next season comes out. Yeah,
that's smart.
But with Disney Plus, they want people to stay subscribed, and when you got it at a price where it's like, what is it, $5.99?
It's like $7 a month.
Okay, $7 a month is insane. And I think you can have like 5 or 6 different logins or something like that.
Is that? Oh, that's how they're handling it.
Yeah, so like I think up to 6 people can be logged in on the account.
Really?
So you're looking at like $1 a person.
I meant to talk to you about this, but I'm like, I almost feel like I don't know if any of your other family, but like honestly, like I'm considering just buying it for me, for my family, because we already pay for a bunch of subscription services, so we could just like share it. Honestly, like I was like, I'm gonna give it to select people because having a bunch of streaming services just sucks, man. Like
it does.
I hate having to be like, oh, God, I've got Hulu, I've got Amazon Prime, I've got Netflix, we've also got, and then Disney Plus is coming out, and like it's just all these streaming services. I'm like, it's really annoying because now it's at this point where it's like, it used to be like, oh, I can just have a couple of these and I won't have to have cable, but now like you have to just have all of these. It's really annoying.
That's why they need to companies need to sort of come together and bundle things.
Yes.
So in a way that like Disney has a bundle with Hulu and ESPN Plus, I think that's a pretty solid approach. So that way it doesn't feel like the consumer's having to pay for 3 separate things. They can bundle it up together. I think it's like $15 for all 3 of those: Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. That's I mean, that's a pretty solid deal if you're into that. And then somebody could also just get Netflix, and then that's all you have to worry about. But then there's Amazon Prime, and there's perks to that too. Obviously, the free 2-day shipping is a huge deal.
I couldn't go without Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like it's just so helpful.
Exactly. Like I pretty much use that service just for the free shipping, and then like the streaming is pretty much just like an add-on bonus for me.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like I really, really want to see on there other than when Lord of the Rings comes out on there.
Yeah.
But
you still need to watch The Boys, man. You're missing out, dude. You gotta watch that show.
I thought you said The Voice, and I'm like, why?
No, not The Voice. Not The Voice. I don't care if you watch The Voice or not. That's no The Boys.
It's so funny. Yeah. I swear it sounded like you said The Voice, but
honestly, I probably did. Like, I went The Voice.
Yeah. Other quick Star Wars stuff that's not on our notes. I forgot to put it on there, but really quickly, we kind of mentioned it, Jedi Fallen Order. I think pretty recently a pretty big group of people got to play about 3 hours of the story.
Got to play.
And it's been fairly positive for the most part.
People said it's really, really good. Like they were saying how there was so much content there. Like they just wanted to go explore everything. The combat was really engaging and challenging. There was always like new enemies to fight. The environments were really cool. The story seemed pretty decent, although they didn't get a whole in-depth thing about it. But it was very much like a crossover between. When I watched it, it very much looked like, okay, Dark Souls combined with Uncharted and Star Wars. Like, because it's very much like you're like going through temples and like you're on this adventure, like, it looks a lot like Uncharted in that sense, but also like the combat is very like meticulous and tactical and strategic.
Sure.
And so like this is not a game where you are button mashing your way through it and you're super powerful. You are having to be very, very smart about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which I really like that. They do have a difficulty option that's called story mode though. So like if you want an easier experience and you want to try to just get the story experience, that's there for you. But I know for me, like I'm definitely going to put it either on normal for my first playthrough, or I'm going to put it on the second most difficult setting. Yeah. Cole is going for the hardest right off the bat because he's a madman, but he also loves Dark Souls and loves Sekiro, like these games that are just super challenging.
Yeah.
We're both pumped about it though, so I really hope there's a photo mode in this game.
Oh yeah, because some of the environments look really gorgeous.
Yes, they do. Like just some of the screenshots you could do, I'm sure would be absolutely amazing. Like doing a finisher or a takedown on somebody, or using a force power. Like it could be really cool. So yeah, I'm hyped for Jedi Fallen Order, man.
Me
I'm
too.
Ready.
I'm ready to just kind of like, I want to kind of take my time with that game. With Spider-Man, I kind of flew through it because I wanted to get through the story really fast. But this, I want to
9,000 times.
Yeah, I'm never gonna stop. But yeah, I kind of want to take my time and just explore all of the planets and kind of build up my character and everything like that. So
yes, I agree.
Yeah, I heard somebody say, I can't remember, but they said if you really like go through and explore and take your time with everything, you could put in about 28 hours of gameplay before you actually complete everything, which is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, and also I feel like it's going to have a lot of replay value, especially if they have like a new game plus mode where you go back through and like have all your stuff. That seems to be a popular thing that like, well, we don't have new game plus at the start, but so many people demand for it that they're like, well, like, okay.
Yeah.
And it adds so much replay value. Like I love new game pluses like that, because it's like you can kind of go back through in the story and have a new lens, and like you already have all this experience under your belt, and also all these gadgets or powers or whatever it may be. But yeah, somebody was saying like, well, the way it works though is like you can explore these planets and like, but sometimes you can't always go to the places that you want to because you don't like you're not able to get there yet.
Skilled enough.
Like you don't have the right powers or whatever it may be. And so it gives you a reason to go back to the planets, and like it's almost like kind of open world ish. Like you can go to certain planets that you discover like right off the bat, but you may not even be a high enough level. Like Star Wars Explained, Alex from Star Wars Explained was saying that he went to play it, and he went straight to Dathomir, which I didn't know was going to be a planet in the game, so that's super cool, because Dathomir is a really interesting planet, especially you see it a lot in the Clone Wars, and he went there, and like he walked a little bit, and next thing you know, there was this gigantic monster that just wiped the floor with him, and like everything was so powerful, and he was just like, I got to get off this planet.
Yeah,
and
didn't he just leave?
Yeah, he just left. He's like, there's no way, and that was like the way the developers intended it, but it's like, I'm sure someone like early on in the game could go to Dathomir and like figure out a way, but it'd be really hard, like you'd be spending a lot more time on that planet. But I mean, they give players the freedom to do what they want, to choose what planets they want to do, where they want to go back to, what they want to unlock, etc., which I find really cool. I love games like that. One of my favorite games or game franchises is the Dishonored series, and it's very much like a play the way you want to play, and I love that because it allows me to just go back through. Like I've played Dishonored 1 probably 10 plus times. I played Dishonored 2 5 times just like in 1 month because I was trying to get all the achievements, and like I played it so many different ways with so many different like of my powers and everything. I love games like that. It's super fun.
It's definitely different for EA's Star Wars. This isn't something that we're used to getting from them, which is awesome. I'm not going to complain one bit.
Definitely not, no.
As much as I enjoy playing Battlefront 2, I kind of am looking forward to the change of pace in a single-player story mode.
It almost feels like it's not even being developed by EA, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of feel like EA, after the backlash that they got for both Battlefronts, we're just like, we're gonna let Respawn just do what they want with this one.
And Respawn is a fantastic company, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love them for Titanfall. The people who made those games, like a lot of people in the crew have just made excellent games in the past, and they're such a great company. They're making Apex Legends, which is an entirely free to play game, so it makes sense for them to have like these microtransactions and stuff. But they've been killing it with that game lately. So I'm just really glad they got the opportunity to make this game. Like it feels kind of unreal, but like this almost feels like the first like Battlefront 2 I feel like is the first step in the right direction for Star Wars games, because it's been exceeding my expectations a lot lately. Yeah. But Jedi Fallen Order is like, this is probably what a Star Wars game should be like from now on. And I hope we get like, I just hope they start embracing the license more, because there's just so many opportunities like they could do. I saw somebody mentioning today that like a horror Star Wars game would be just amazing, like a Dead Space style game. Sure. Somebody was like analyzing the Darth Vader scene from Rogue One, and it just being like this really intimidating like horror game. But yeah.
All right, so let's get into some DC news that happened over the week. First, I should mention that Jonah Hill, who was in talks to play a villain for the Batman, is no longer in talks. Pretty much really shortly after that announcement, there was actual casting news for the Riddler in the film. He's going to be played by Paul Dano. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Paul Dano, pretty famous for his role in Prisoners, Prisoner. And
It's Prisoners.
Yeah, Prisoners. And apparently this movie called There Will Be Blood, which you and I have not seen, but we've heard good things about.
Yeah, it's a Daniel Day-Lewis movie. It's like this gold miner or whatever. I actually kind of want to watch it specifically because I've heard so many good things about it lately from this casting. But yeah, Paul Dano is freaking amazing in Prisoners. Did Denis Villeneuve direct that movie? Oh, God, I love that guy. I don't think he's made a film that I don't like.
Yeah, he's perfect on all of his films.
Blade Runner 2049 was the first. No, that's not true. Arrival. I saw Arrival first. And then Blade Runner 2049, Prisoners. He's making this new Dune movie. You know what? I'm going to look up his filmography.
Enemy, dude. Enemy. Have you seen Enemy? Yeah, he made Enemy.
Is that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah. And
is it the one where
he has like a twin?
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, okay. I did see Enemy. Enemy, I'm gonna be honest with you, wasn't a huge fan.
Oh God.
I don't know. Wasn't super into that one. It was just really weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's also one of my favorite movies ever made.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's also just like, what's up with the giant spiders, man? I don't like that. You don't need to put that in the movie. Like, I don't like giant spiders.
I don't want to spoil anything, but if you haven't seen Enemy, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's amazing.
It's definitely has like an underlying plot.
Oh,
like,
it is.
You have to go look up. You're just like, what did this film even mean?
Well,
what?
He kind of gave it away, like in bonus features or whatever for the film.
Oh, really?
In like an interview, he kind of lays it all out. He's like, this is this, and this is this, and this is what this means. And I was like, he was really straightforward with it. He wasn't like, he wasn't one of those things where like, it's up to you to interpret what it means, and never talks about it again. So, but yeah, it's so off topic. But yeah, Denis Villeneuve, awesome director. I think he's just perfect.
Get him for a Marvel or Star Wars movie. Like,
I could see a Star Wars movie. I'm not sure.
I could see him doing Star Wars for sure. I don't know if he'll do Marvel. I feel like that would be a little too much of a sellout thing for him.
Yeah.
But like, man, I mean, well, so he's already done one sci-fi movie like that's purely based on like a sequel to something else.
Sure.
And he's about to do the reboot for Dune.
Yeah.
Which is going to be insane. The cast for that movie isn't like, it's insane. Like Jason Momoa. Zendaya, Timothy Chalamet, Stellan Skarsgård, Rebecca Ferguson, Dave Bautista, like it's
pretty much
Bardem, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, David Dalmatian, like oh my God, the cast. For
I don't know how they're paying all of these people, to be honest, but
I don't know. It's insane.
But anyways, back to the Paul Dano casting.
Yes.
Overall, you're pretty excited about that.
I love this. Like I didn't even like. This is like another one of those castings, like John Bernthal as the Punisher, where I was like,
oh yeah,
I didn't even think about that I wanted this, but I'm so glad that we got it because like it's so good. Like, the Riddler is one of my favorite villains, and Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey with, like, in a movie that wasn't so good, like, if it wasn't Joel Schumacher, would have actually been an amazing Riddler. Like, which, I mean, he wasn't bad by any stretch of the means. Like, I don't think he was, like, he's very campy and corny. Yeah. Like, but he wasn't bad. There's a distinct difference. And, like, I'm just really happy with this. He feels like Paul Dano will be like an amazing modern day Riddler, especially with like the Arkham games and stuff, where it's just like he just looks the part.
He definitely looks the part,
and feels the part.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, after it's crazy because after Jonah Hill, the announcement was released that he was no longer in talks to play a villain. I was like, that kind of sucks. I was like, I'm kind of looking forward to him playing a villain. The rumors were he would be playing the Riddler, although a lot of people fan casted him as the Penguin. But so
it was like either Riddler or Penguin. People said it could have been both.
But I think people at Variety said Riddler was what they were hearing. Yeah. And they're pretty reliable. So so when that announcement came, I was like kind of bummed out. And I swear it had to be a couple hours later. It was Paul Dano was cast.
I think it was the same
Riddler.
day, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm down for this. I like this.
Yeah.
So overall, he seems to be a pretty good actor, even though he doesn't have a ton of roles out there or major roles.
He was in Swiss Army Man, which I remember was like a pretty
a weird
interesting movie. That was the one. Did it have Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, it did.
The one that was like the dead guy on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got to see it, but it always looked really interesting to me.
It's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my life. But
really,
yeah, there's like weird, and then there's like funny weird, and that it fits under funny weird.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Like, I think Enemy is weird and creepy, and then this is just weird. Like, this is funny weird. But like you said, he kind of fits that role perfectly.
I can just see him up against Robert Pattinson. Well, that's already the thing with
him. That's
already
his nickname.
Like there was Batfleck and everything, but Robert Pattinson is apparently his thing. But I didn't mean to say that, by the way.
That's so.
But I can
funny.
already see them like him just staring him down in the Batman costume, which apparently, by the way, Robert Pattinson has already fitted for his costume and says it looks really awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I want to see some, like, at least I want to see some concept art.
Concept art for sure.
Yeah, I want to see that suit.
Some of the fan art for Robert Pattinson's Batman has been insanely good.
Yeah.
I'm like, if the costume, like, mainly the main thing for me is the cowl. I'm like, if they can make the cowl look like his face really fits the cowl.
Sure.
Like, the way his like jaw is and everything, like it, and his nose, it's like he has the very high cheekbones that look like it would fit perfectly with kind of like that like the chevron kind of going down to the pointed nose, and then kind of the angular like mouth or whatever. It's like, dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited for this movie, man.
I'm surprised that he's already doing fitting for the costume, because he's like, just, I saw that he's just now kind of getting into starting to kind of bulk up for the role.
Really?
Like, he's just now like starting to hit the gym
jacked.
for it. Oh, I know. That. Right now he kind of looks like a twig.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very skinny guy. He's already said in many interviews that he's always had trouble putting on weight, and I'm like, listen here, Robert. You are in a DC movie. They will hire 19 trainers and 17 nutritionists just to make sure that you get 230 pounds of raw muscle. Yeah. I mean, that's not gonna. He's probably gonna be more like, I imagine, Christian Bale style.
I think so.
Big, where he's not like Ben Affleck, just like hulking, like 6'3", 230 pounds. Ben Affleck's a beast.
He got ripped for that movie.
Yes, he did.
Batman
he got
vs.
very,
Superman.
very big. That's what I say is still to this day the most like comic accurate Batman when it comes to like his physicality.
Sure.
Insane.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale was very much more of like a realistic, like normal kind of, like he got big. He definitely got big, especially in Batman Begins. Like apparently they said for Batman Begins he got
too big.
He got too big. Yeah, which is impressive to say the least. But yeah, I think Robert Pattinson will probably be like, I'll see him like, so how tall is he? But for the record, I'm like, it seems like I'm like fixating on this, but like I get really invested in like transformations in Hollywood, especially when it comes to like workout routines and stuff. Like people either losing weight or building muscle, just seeing how big they're. Okay, so he's 6'1". I could see him probably being like 6'1", 200 pounds, something like that, maybe like 190. Somewhere around in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So pretty decently big, but like, yeah, definitely more of like a younger Batman. Because even in the comics, like the older Batman got, the bigger Batman got, and that's just kind of how it goes in real life, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think since he's only 33, I could see him being like 6'1".
He's 33.
190. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought he was younger than that, but
he looks a lot younger for sure.
I think he's like 29.
Yeah. Speaking of Robert Pattinson, we should go see The Lighthouse.
Yeah, if we can get a screening around here.
There's one in Greenville.
Oh, is there?
Some of my friends may be going, so if we go, I'll see if well, they've already said I could tag along, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind. They listen to the podcast, so
dope.
If listening now, shout out to you guys. Maybe we'll go see The Lighthouse with you. So yeah, Paul Dano, Riddler.
The whole cast that's been announced so far has been amazing for this movie.
I know. It feels like just like such a great like modern take on Batman. Like I'm so excited.
It's kind of like getting back to the core of who the character is. And
yeah.
really much the core of Gotham, because Gotham and it's like Gotham is essentially a character of its own.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, so like it seems like we're really getting back into that world, and I'm really excited. I feel like. Go ahead. I really like the Dark Knight movies, but it definitely, like, Gotham definitely feels. I know like a lot of it was shot in Chicago, and you can definitely feel that. Like it feels just like a modern city in the U.S.
Yes, it does.
And it doesn't have that like that grimy Gotham feeling.
Batman Begins very much has that feeling.
But
does. When you transition into the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises, that's when it's like, okay, this feels kind of like New York City.
Exactly. And that's what I liked about the Joker. It kind of felt a little bit more like Gotham, and it also felt like some like 70s New York City.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Felt like some Miami Vice mixed with like Gotham City. Like it was very interesting.
Sure. Yeah. I'm excited to see that, just like the city design and set design for this movie.
Yeah, I hope it definitely takes like hints from the name Gotham, like some Gothic architecture, because that's what I always loved about like the Tim Burton movies, was like that kind of like in the animated series, there's kind of like those looming structures. Like,
sure.
Did you watch the first 10 minutes of Joker with Todd Phillips, and how he was saying how he always wanted to feel like
no.
He was so it was really cool. It was a variety. You should go check it out after this. If anybody
I saw the
hasn't seen
YouTube
it,
video, but I never clicked on it.
Yeah, it's perfect. So like he's talking about it, and he was always saying how like he wanted the city to kind of be looming over Arthur Fleck, and like how it's kind of like a very oppressive city, and I'm like, that's how Gotham feels. It feels like everything is really large and grandiose, but at the same time it makes everyone feel smaller and kind of insignificant and more intimidated. And I love that. I was like, Todd Phillips, you the man. Because he added CGI buildings, and like there was spots where there was like open spots, and he's like, he wanted it to feel like there were more skyscrapers and everything. Like everything was really condensed and claustrophobic and heavy and weighted.
That's perfect.
He's a great director, man. Like I'm really, ever since I've started being in more productions and more like short films and stuff, like I just appreciate like really good direction so much. And Todd Phillips, I was like, this guy needs to be in more stuff, like, or do more stuff, I should say. So yeah,
I'd be down to see. I don't want it to become a trend, but at the same time, it would be kind of cool to see more individually like focus character movies like the Joker. But I mean, I feel like only certain characters deserve a film of their own and an origin story. Yeah. So it's tough when you start getting into that. You don't want to overdo it. Since we're talking about the Joker anyways, we should mention that it was reported that Jared Leto, before the Joker actually started filming and there was talks of the movie being made, Jared Leto and his agents tried to go to WB to get the film canceled and scrapped. He did not want this movie to exist.
which is such a, I mean, it's such a dick move. Like,
it sounds like a Jared Leto move to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, before this Joker movie came out, there was rumors that there was going to be a solo Jared Leto Joker movie.
I remember
or like
that,
a Jared Leto and Harley Quinn movie or something like that. And that's pretty much gone. So it sounds like Jared Leto is just completely done as the Joker.
Yeah.
Like there's no chance that that relationship with WB is kind of just over, and I don't think he's going to be doing the character at all.
That's a good way to get Joaquin Phoenix to make a couple cameos. But then again, they're losing kind of all their Batman universe, to be honest. I mean, now that they're doing the Robert Pattinson, or the, Robert Pattinson as Batman, and Joaquin Phoenix has been Joker. Ben Affleck isn't Batman anymore. Jared Leto's not Joker anymore. The only person left is Harley Quinn, and she's going to be in Birds of Prey. Really complicated. It's all crumbling, but at the same time, like, I'm really excited for DC, and that's just really weird, because I'm like, oh, we got these great films like Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Shazam, but at the same time, we also just like we're losing a lot of people for those main characters. Like we may be losing Henry Cavill, or we haven't lost Henry Cavill, but the thing is like he's never going to come back if they don't, actually get him back. Exactly. So it's at this point, it was just like, well, like, where is he at? So it's like, it sucks, but at the same time, like, if Ben Affleck didn't leave as Batman, like, I don't think we would have gotten the Matt Reeves one, because I mean, that was supposed to be his Batman movie.
Sure. That whole story was annoying. It was so back and forth.
Yeah.
It was like,
man, what a journey this movie is gonna have. Like, it has such a long history.
This movie has just like a lot more going for it. The Robert Pattinson is more exciting to me than Ben Affleck, even though I loved Ben Affleck. Yes. But I feel like there's more of a future with the character with Robert Pattinson, because it felt like at any point in time Ben Affleck was just going to be like, I don't want to do it anymore.
I'm visualizing him as Bruce Wayne, like, in the Batcave right now, and I'm just like, Robert Pattinson as Batman feels almost kind of like a Tom Holland as Spider-Man thing, where, like, this could go on for a little while. Not like, like a lifelong thing, but, like, there's a lot of raw potential there, and, like, he's probably going to just nail this character, like this young, cocky, arrogant Bruce Wayne. Like, that's what I want to see. But at the same time, I also want him to be, like, a really scary and intimidating and intellectual Batman. It's going to be great.
100%. Did you see that thing? Go ahead.
I was also going to transition into the whole, Jared Leto said, like, well, we already said this. I don't know why I'm bringing this up again, that, like, it's confirmed that, like, Jared Leto is just done. Like, not only was he trying to tear down the Joker movie, but now he's just like, all right, I'm not being Joker anymore. Oh. Which would be really weird anyway, because he's also being Morbius. And,
God.
So... but yeah, go back to what you were saying.
Did you see that photo making the rounds on Twitter and Instagram about Joker? I'll go ahead and kind of break it down since this is an audio podcast, but in the Joker film, there's 3 instances throughout the film where you see a clock.
Okay.
And the first one, I believe, is around the time where he's at work, when Arthur's at work. The second one that you see is when he's at his first visit with his, like, I guess, like, therapist. And then the last time you see a clock on a wall is during the final scene where he's talking to one of the hospital's doctors or therapists. Mm-hmm. And in each shot, the clock is exactly at the same exact time as when the first clock was shown. And there was a lot of confusion about the film at the end, where people were like, did it actually happen, or was it all in his mind?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of speculation now that whole thing could have just been in his mind the whole time. And just because the clock is exactly where it was at the beginning in the movie as it is in the end of the film. So it's definitely not a coincidence. It's definitely it's definitely something that was placed there.
It's not the same clock, right? It's not like
it's a different clock throughout the film, but it's the time on the clock is just like an hour, or hand clock or whatever.
Yeah.
Is exactly the same in each shot. It's at the exact same time.
Interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's like making me think. I'm like, I mean, I definitely think it was real, but also it makes me think of like the events that transpired.
Yeah.
Like what's like because we see it like kind of like a third person perspective, but from like Arthur, right? Like he's the main character.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Like that's like some food for thought right there.
It's interesting. I mean, like that right there can't be a coincidence, and it had to be there on purpose.
Yeah.
For the clock. Yeah. It's a different clock, and it's set at a different time, or at the same time, and different times throughout the film. Mm-hmm. Like there's no coincidence for that. So it does kind of make you wonder. Like I kind of believe that all of that stuff happened.
Yeah.
But the way that it ends is kind of weird, where the therapist is trying to get his attention and he's clearly kind of daydreaming in a way.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if it was just all in his head, and
mm-hmm.
It was something that he thought of as she asked him a question. But like I'll post it on my Twitter. If you're not following me, you can go follow me there, or I'll post it on the Comic Blast Twitter. If you're interested in that, because they have like actual screenshots that you can check out. Just something that was cool. Interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Yeah. I love little stuff like that.
Me too. Let's get into some quick MCU movie news, if I can talk.
Movie moves.
Really quickly, there's heavy rumors that a third Ant-Man movie is going to be developed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely exciting for you, because I know you're a big fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I do love Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, I was just kind of like, if it gets made, that's cool. Or if we only see Ant-Man in these team-up movies, I'd also be kind of happy with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like since Endgame, there definitely is a story there for Scott and Cassie. There's definitely a story there that they can explore.
Yeah, I mean, she's a lot older now.
Sure.
So, in the comics, we know she becomes. I don't remember her name actually. I want to say. I can't think of her name. I'm thinking of a lot of other superhero characters, but I cannot think of hers for some reason. But she becomes essentially a growing, shrinking character, very much like her father.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there's just a lot to explore there, and like Ant-Man and the Wasp, like while it was really good in my opinion, it by no means is it one of like the best MCU movies. It's very much like middle lower tier, just kind of like a fun popcorn flick.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's getting a third one, because I think it deserves a third movie. I think there's a lot of passion behind that entire franchise, or that entire group of characters, and so I'm just glad it's happening, because I think Ant-Man is just such an underrated character. He was such a great part of Endgame. Like, it's really interesting to think that like he was such a crucial part of Endgame.
Yeah.
But like, and I love Paul Rudd. God, Paul Rudd's the freaking best.
I know.
Like, he's just such a great guy. Yeah, and Wasp is my favorite. Has always been my favorite female Marvel hero. So, and I love Evangeline Lilly. She's freaking awesome.
Same.
So yeah, I feel like they're definitely gonna do more Quantum Realm stuff, and if they bring back Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm sure there's something in their contracts where they'll have to come back.
Right.
Were they in Endgame? Were they at the funeral?
Yeah, they were at the funeral.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm sure they. Yeah.
What I was talking about this really quickly with a friend last week. What part in particular at the end of Endgame hit you the most emotionally? Like what scene or what little shot hit you the most emotionally?
Emotionally as in made me sad, or just any type of emotion?
Yeah, just sad. I mean, go from Tony's death on. What was the
definitely
the tearjerker?
I mean, when I think probably the moment that made me cry, or like maybe the most sad, because I cried, you didn't, because you're a soulless human being. But it was when, as soon as you see, when you see Peter crying, and like especially when he's handshaking with Ned,
sure,
and like Tony's gone, but like everybody's back. It's like a very bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
But also, as soon as I see Harley at the funeral, I'm like, it makes me think of just all of Tony's legacy, and I think of Iron Man 3 and just all of the people like he's affected. Like I think even of Yinsen from Iron Man 1, where he says like when he's on his, like he's dying and he says, "Don't waste your life." Like that's the moment that I'm just like, oh my God, Tony Stark is such a great character. He has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe it's been, over 10 years or over 11 years since that first movie came out, Like he has grown as I have grown up, and it's just like, but yeah, like those two moments right there, they get me good.
I think like the saddest moments for me were when I think the funeral scene is just starting and you see the proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
Oh, God.
Thing. I was like, that one was pretty good.
Callbacks.
Yeah.
Just callbacks. Yeah.
Neither of us can talk today, by the way.
No, my eyes are actually like starting to like fall a little bit, just because I'm like, it just got really dark all of a sudden outside my house, and I'm just like, it's been a long day.
I understand. And then weirdly for me is when Nick Fury walks out onto the porch. That's another one that kind of hit me, I guess, because he...
Or is it Talos?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No, I'm kidding.
I think it's definitely Nick, but...
No, it
just,
is.
Yeah, when he shows up, I'm just like, man, what a journey, because he was the one who kind of, like, recruited him to be a part...
And got him killed. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but it's cool because he has so much respect for Tony.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just another thing, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of off topic, but I was talking about it with a friend. I was like, that's a pretty good conversation to have or debate.
If we're talking about most emotional moments in general in Endgame, I mean, it has to be portals. Like, I literally get chills,
Yeah.
Like, the amount of just, like I want to cry from happiness because of just, like, how freaking perfect that scene is. Like, God.
On your left.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
The way they built that up, like if I could go back any time to see see even just a scene and experience it with a full crowd again,
yeah,
like for the first time, that would be it right there. Would be the portals.
I probably have to
agree. Everybody's like clapping when they come back through and cheering.
Dude,
so
when
great.
Black Panther walked through, everybody freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of did too, because I was like, what is
God.
happening? I got so confused because I honestly forgot that these characters should be coming back.
Yeah.
Because so much is happening at one time, so I'm not like thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then when they like come back, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, they're alive. Of course they would come back.
I remember like you were like so confused, and then I looked over and I was like, dude, you were like, it hit you. You were like, oh wait, like.
Yeah.
Because that's like the way they do it. They're like, they subvert your expectations, because like they do the snap, but then they take you in a different direction.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh crap, Thanos is back. He came through the portal, and now he's like, they have to hold him off. What are they gonna do? Captain America's the only guy left. Oh wait, boom.
Exactly.
They nailed it.
Perfect.
Nailed it. I still think about Endgame a lot.
Me too. It's a great movie. Real quick before we end the episode, because I kind of wanted to talk about this. Do you think you're going to end up watching Watchmen at some point in time?
I mean, at some point in time, absolutely. The problem is, I've never seen the Watchmen movie, nor have I read the Watchmen graphic novel, because I'm an idiot. So I need to get on that. But right now I'm in such a Star Wars mood that it's kind of hard to like. It's really hard to watch other stuff when you're in a mood for something else.
I agree.
And so when I'm like, I want to watch Star Wars stuff and Superman stuff, and like, it makes it very hard to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go find Watchmen. And also because Watchmen is on no streaming services, so like, that's really annoying. It used to be on Netflix, and now it's not. It used to be on Amazon Prime, and now it's not. And now it's on the DC Universe like streaming thing, and I'm like, well, I don't have that.
The DC Universe sucks. Oh my gosh. Did I tell you I got a free trial from that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think I did. It was like months ago though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually pretty excited about it at first, and that thing is so just the streaming service is lifeless. Yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like they have a couple of their originals, Titans, and then Doom Patrol, which I'm hearing is getting a second season. I'm kind of surprised. Because
Young Justice.
Yeah,
Outsiders.
I do like Young Justice a lot. But then as far as movies go, like they have the old Batman, the 90s Batman movies, and that's pretty much it. There's like nothing else on that streaming service.
They need to there's just not enough there for DC to have their own streaming service, I feel like.
Yeah, and then the comics that you get, because you're supposed to be able to read comics too.
Yeah.
Or like older comics. It's nothing like up to date.
I feel like there needs to be if they're doing anything, it needs to be a WB streaming service, not a DC. That means Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, DC. Like there's so much stuff that's like WB material that they could actually put on there, but not just something just for DC. There has not been enough content. If you're not putting all the DCEU movies on there, if you're not putting all the Christopher Nolan Batman movies and the old animated shows and like Adam West and all those old Superman stuff, like you're wasting your potential there. Like, is Justice League Unlimited and Justice League not on there? Like,
I think they may actually be on there.
I know they're adding Batman Beyond, which is good. But also I'm probably just gonna get that on Blu-ray and digital. So like,
definitely.
I don't think there's ever gonna be a point where I invest into the DC thing unless I'm like I really get invested in Young Justice and want to watch the new season. But yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, Watchmen, you're definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, at some point. But I've heard there's been fantastic reviews for the HBO series. It's really weird though that it's on HBO and not DC.
I think WB actually has some sort of stake in HBO.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Because if I can recall, whenever like a new like Wonder Woman has been on HBO, Batman vs Superman has been on HBO. Suicide Squad, all of those films have been on HBO. I think there might be something with that.
Do you have HBO?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay, I don't.
Yeah, well, I don't personally have it. I just take it from my parents.
Oh. Okay.
They have it, but they don't use it, so it's like I just log into it.
Yeah, one of my friends let me use his Amazon extension. He had HBO for that, and that's where I watched Westworld and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was how I would do it. I logged out though because there was one time like he apparently gave it to like way too many friends and everybody has it now, and so like it would really slow up like the streaming stuff. Like I'd be watching The Boys, and because it was on his Amazon, I just didn't want to log out on my own. Yeah. And then it would just like it just was streaming so slowly, and I'm like, this is definitely like because there's a bunch of people on his account right now. And then I switched to mine, and it was perfect, and I was like, okay.
Explains it all.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it, and I definitely want to check it out just because it's like it's really weird that it's already came out. Like I felt like it was this thing
flew under the radar.
Yeah, like they really did not build it up at all.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of promotion for it. All I saw was like a bunch of people tweeting about it and how great it was, and I was like, okay. I actually really like Zack Snyder's director's cut of the film.
I've heard it's pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's the kind of comic book characters that you want to give to Zack Snyder to do. Like that's right up his alley.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I know you love Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel too. Like I think it's a great movie.
But I mean, but still, it's like Zack Snyder has a very distinct methodology to his filmmaking and his characters, and Superman is one that's very much like a different style. You know.
Exactly. And
like Superman is a very much like a hopeful thing. Like I rewatched Superman Returns, and I'm like, man, the difference between this and Man of Steel is night and day.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
I agree. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Comic Blast podcast. We thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe. You can leave a rating and a review on iTunes for us if you'd like. Yeah, that's probably one of the best ways to help us out. And subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Definitely want to get some more subscribers over there. We got videos coming out weekly now. Grayson's been hard at work with that. And like I said earlier in the show, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at comicblast_. And then keep an eye out for a video tomorrow where we're going to discuss and analyze the Rise of Skywalker trailer. Anything else that I need to add to that, Grayson?